Hello friends, welcome back to the C.Gars channel. Today me and Billy are back to take a look at the Cuban and New World cigars of the month of June. Billy, what have you got today?
I have the Romeo y Julieta #1 tube cigar. Now this one comes in at 5.5 inches long with a ring gauge of 40. You're looking at around about 30 minutes of enjoyment time, and as it is, it's Cuban. I can't really go into the tobacco side of things.
Yeah.
If I remember rightly, I have smoked one of these before. It was a fair while ago, so I'm looking forward to reminding myself of what this one has to offer.
Cool. So for myself, I have the New World cigar. I have the AJ Fernandez Belles Artes Robusto. This one comes in at 5.5 inches long with a 52 ring gauge. It has a mix of tobaccos. It has Nicaraguan, Honduran and Brazilian. And then it also has an AJ Fernandez hybrid wrapper, which is quite unique. So I'm expecting quite a lot from this one. But yeah, enough said, let's get straight into it. Yeah,
perfect. So we've made our way through the first third of these cigars today, and for the Romeo, from a flavour standpoint, I would say that it starts off with a very, very slight spice and a quite prominent grassy sort of note that I'm getting. However, I would say that we're getting towards that middle third, it's kind of died down quite a bit, and it's now a very tobacco forward flavour.
Okay. Yeah.
So I can't really pick out too much sweetness here and there or anything like that. It's kind of that prominent tobacco standard kind of flavor profile that you get from quite a few Cubans. And yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying it. It's very smooth, quite creamy. There's nothing to sort of whinge about or moan about or anything like that. In terms of construction, burn has been slightly off from the get-go, to be completely honest. The draw, for my personal preference, is slightly tighter than I would usually enjoy. However, again, this doesn't have that much of an effect because the smoke output from this cigar is still being quite good. It's filling the room with plumes of smoke. So again, it's kind of like take it as you will, take it with a pinch of salt. It's not the end of the world, but it's just comfortability, for my personal opinion.
Okay.
What about for you?
So I'm actually having a really good experience with this cigar. I think I'm gonna start with construction. Construction's perfect. I can't fault it whatsoever. The draw is just spot on. The burn is pretty much spot on as well.
I was gonna say that is pretty straight.
Yeah, the ash is holding well. I feel like the ash is a little bit weak, but it does hold. So I would recommend having an ashtray on hand. Flavor wise, it's quite complex, really. There's quite a lot going on, but it's not too much.
Okay.
I'm getting, well, at first I was getting a lot of oaky notes with a slight kind of coffee bitterness there. I feel like the bitterness does kind of overwhelm that a little bit. But now I'm getting notes of citrus and kind of like a coppery metallic taste. So it's all kind of like, obviously, you know, that doesn't sound great when I say the coffee bitterness, then the metallic taste. But it all works together, and it's quite impressive, really.
It's complex, but it works.
Yeah, exactly. And I wonder if that's because of the wrapper. You know, it's so different. It's unique, isn't it? And strength-wise, we're probably sitting at between maybe a light to medium right now.
Yeah, I mean, strength on this, to be fair, is completely mild. It's not a very strong cigar. As I say, it's meant to be a medium. For me personally, very mild. And as you say, I forgot to mention, you said about the bitterness. There is a slight bitterness that comes in and out of this as I've got a little bit further down. But yeah, again, it's quite enjoyable.
Cool. Well, let's see what the final 2/3 have in offer then. Okay, guys, so we are now in the middle third, and the AJ Fernandez has surprised me yet again. I'm getting a lot of earthy notes now, but there's a little bit of honey in there too.
Okay.
I'm still getting the sort of coppery metallic taste, which I'm not really keen on, but I'm really enjoying how complex it is, and the strength has surprised me too, because it says online it's a full, and I'm only getting about a medium right now. Might pick up in the final third, but I'm actually having a really good time with this cigar. I'm really enjoying it, and
I was going to say that medium strength profile is roughly where you like to sit, so it's
exactly
worked in your favour in that
exactly
sense.
Yeah. What about yourself?
Yeah, I would say the Romeo has kind of stayed quite consistent. It hasn't changed all that much. I would say there's a slight sweetness right on the back end of the cigar that you kind of pick up here and there. And the only thing that reminds me of is that sweetness mixed with the creaminess of the tobacco and the creaminess of the smoke that I'm getting kind of reminds me of like a creamy latte.
Okay.
So you got that sweetness, you got that creaminess, and it kind of marries together and it makes it really, really enjoyable. As I say, it's a very smooth cigar with a very slight bitterness here and there as well. So I think in terms of a flavor profile and a flavor that I'm getting, that's the best way to describe this cigar in my opinion.
Okay.
I myself like lattes, so it kind of works for me, you know.
Yeah.
Again, you could probably smoke this cigar mid-morning, afternoon kind of thing. It's not one of them cigars that you're going to need to have a hefty meal before, in my personal opinion. But yeah, I think overall so far it's been a thoroughly enjoyable experience.
Yeah, it really has. I just want to also point out, visually, the AJ Fernandez Bellas Artes,
Yeah.
has a beautiful looking wrapper and also has beautiful bands on it, but the bands are too big.
You don't like a massive
I don't
band?
like that, and I feel like if it was one, that's fair enough, but when it's multiple bands and they're quite big, there's more opportunity to damage the cigar when you take the band off.
See, from a visual aspect, I differ from you in that sense. I like a big, extravagant kind of band because I think it just offers more in terms of visual representation of the brand and things like that.
Yeah.
And I think AJ Fernandez as a whole brand, I think they do
Big.
real nice bands and kind of dress their cigars to make them look as premium as they are.
Yeah.
I get what you mean though, 100%.
Yeah, it's a good point. I think the biggest band I've seen is on the maybe a
Rocky Patel.
Perdomo.
If not Rocky Patel Age Limited Rare. It's like almost the whole thing, isn't it? It's like
To be fair, you got number 6 as well, which is quite a big
6.
band. Yeah.
There's quite a few because there's I can't remember what it is now off the top of my head. There's a CLE. Is it the signature that comes with the wrap? They got the band and then they got the foot wrap, but it comes all the way up the cigar. It's like white.
Yeah. Same with the Oscar Valadez, right?
Yeah, there's some. Yeah.
That's interesting.
But yeah, in terms of these cigars, we'll take them down to the final third and see what they have to offer.
Let's do it. So we're now into the final thirds, and the Bellas Artes is still complex. I'm getting now a lot of leather, and there is like a really strong sort of cocoa flavor. It's quite, do you know, the body on the cigar is quite intense.
Okay.
There's a lot going on, but it's not overwhelming. No, it's quite, it's just nice. Like I would have one again. I would buy one.
Yeah.
But I can't make any complaints about the cigar. It's really surprised me. Construction is second to none, honestly. This is incredible. The draw is incredible. The smoke output is amazing. And I think the aroma is quite nice as well. Like some cigars you think that's not a very good aroma, but this is, it really does stand out. So I'm really impressed with this one. Yeah.
Nice. Sounds like you've had a good experience with that one.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there's not really anything else to say about it. So I'm just going to smoke it until, as far as I can. It's burning quite hot, so don't know how far down I can go.
To your fingers, you have to get the cigar nub out.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the Romeo, again, as I said previously, it hasn't transitioned all that much. The flavors aren't overly pronounced. As I said, there's sweetness here and there, there's bitterness here and there. But nothing really jumps out at you. It's a very smooth, easygoing and creamy cigar. The smoke output is good considering the draw that I've had is quite tight. But yeah, again, from a flavour standpoint, I would say that it's not overly complex. There's not too much going on. It's a very easygoing cigar that you could smoke, as I said previously, in mid-morning to sort of mid-afternoon kind of thing. And that's probably where I think I would enjoy this cigar the most, because as I say, it's not something that you have to really think about too much. So it's one of them, if you fancy a cigar when you first wake up in the morning, have a little bit of breakfast, this will go hand in hand. And with that kind of latte connection that I've made with a coffee, I can imagine this goes absolutely perfect. But yeah, I think the only downside to this cigar that I've had is the construction of it. As I say, the draw has been slightly too tight for my liking. The burn has been a little bit off. I have had to relight it a couple of times. But again, it's the inconsistencies of Cuba.
Yeah.
You kind of have to expect that, you know. It's one of them things. But again, I don't think it takes away from the overall experience too much if you go in with that open mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, 100% is definitely something that I would go back to. It is something that if I was offered one, I wouldn't turn my nose up to. I would pay money for it. It's a good, easygoing cigar.
Yeah. Again, I think there've been 2 really great picks for our June cigars of the month.
As always.
Yeah. And if you guys want to check them out, there is actually a sampler with these 2 cigars in online. I believe it's like $49.99. Not a bad price at all. But yeah, be sure to grab yours now. But yeah, let's sit back and enjoy the rest of the cigars. But thanks to you guys for watching and supporting us as always. Really hope you enjoyed the video. Let us know what you think of these cigars if you have tried them. And as always, stay safe and happy herding. Peace.